everyone. In this video, we will be discussing regarding the process of implantation. In the earlier video, we have discussed regarding the blastulation process. There is the formation of the blastula. So, how a blastula appears to be? So, a blastula generally, if you see the entire blastula, or you can say it as a blastocyst, is covered by glycoprotein layer. So, that is called as zona pellucida. And below that zona pellucida is the presence of a thin flat layer of the cells which are called as the trophoblast, and inside there are on the other side there are presence of the inner cell mass, or you can call it as the embryoblast, and below that of the embryoblast the cells, the trophoblastic cells which are being attached to the inner cell mass, so those are called as cells of Robber, and in between the trophoblast cells and the inner cell mass there is a presence of a large cavity, so that is called as blastocele. So this blastocele consists of different types of the nutrients like amino acids, or it may be like growth factors which are necessary for the cellular differentiation. So this is about the blastocyst which is being covered by zona pellucida. So in this video we will be discussing how the implantation will occur. So implantation is the process of attachment of the blastocyst to the endometrium. So that is called as implantation. And implantation, as you know, occurs on the 7th day after the fertilization. So how the implantation occurs? What all the changes takes place in the blastula, and what all the changes occurs in the endometrium. So that we'll discuss in this video. Right. So for the implantation to occur, there are mainly 5 different steps. The first one is called as zona hatching. Second one is called as apposition. Next one is called as adhesion. Next is invasion, and the last one is called as decidualization. So these are the 5 steps by which the blastocyst gets attached to that of the endometrium. So what happens in the first step? So the first step is called as zona hatching. So zona hatching is the process where the zona pellucida which is being present surrounding this blastocyst, so that has to be removed. So once that removal takes place, okay, once that removal or the breakdown of the zona pellucida occurs, so that is what we call zona hatching. So this is being facilitated by the lytic factors which are being secreted by the endometrium as well as the blastocyst itself. So there the breakdown of the zona pellucida takes place, thereby making the entire blastocyst to become free and to get attached to that of the endometrium. So that is first step, that is called as zona hatching. Zona hatching refers to the breakdown or the removal of the glycoprotein layer zona pellucida present around the blastocyst. So first step. Second step is apposition. So apposition is basically a loose connection of the blastocyst to that of the endometrium. So that is apposition. So what happens, or how this process will occur, or this step occurs? So what happens is the outermost layer, the flat cells which are present of the blastula, so those are said to be trophoblast. So these trophoblasts which are nearer to that of the endometrium, so they release lytic enzymes. So these lytic enzymes now starts acting upon the lining of the endometrium. So when these lytic enzymes acts upon the lining of the endometrium, so there is a formation of a crypt, or you can call it as a valley, or you can call it as a pit. So that crypt which is being formed, okay, so that occurs in case of the endometrium, and thereafter the inner cell mass now starts facing towards that of the endometrium, and this blastocyst comes and it just rests over that of the endometrium. So this resting of or placing of the blastocyst on the endometrium is called as apposition. So that is the second stage in the implantation. Now in the next stage, that is the third stage called as adhesion. Adhesion is compared to that of apposition. Adhesion is a much more stronger binding of the blastocyst to that of the endometrium. So what happens? What are the changes that occurs in that of the adhesion? So here, once the blastocyst rest on that of the endometrium, so thereafter what happens? The trophoblast cells which are being very close to that of the uterine crypt. So these trophoblast cells starts undergoing the proliferation, means they start dividing, and once they start dividing, they start penetrating into the layer of the endometrium. So once the penetration occurs, then the blastocyst gets firmly attached to that of the endometrium, and this process of attachment is also being supported or facilitated by the proteins which are there, like laminin, collagen and integrin protein. So these proteins favors the process of adhesion. So once the adhesion occurs, thereafter these blastocyst which is present, so this blastocyst sends the signals to that of the endometrium to undergo the changes, and these changes are necessary so that this entire blastocyst has to get embedded into the endometrium. So that is the third step, that is called as adhesion. So next step, what happens? Once the attachment occurs, firmly with that of the blastocyst to that of the endometrium, next is the step called as invasion. Now what happens during this invasion? During this invasion, the trophoblast cells which have been proliferating into the endometrium, so these proliferative cells now comes in contact with that of the glands present in that of the endometrial stroma. So those are the uterine glands, and these uterine glands secretes the uterine secretion, or you can call it as a uterine milk, and by absorbing the nutrients from that of the uterine glands, so these trophoblast cells divide further, and they divide and give rise to two different types of the trophoblast, where one is called as syncytiotrophoblast, the other one is called as cytotrophoblast. So what is the difference between the syncytiotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast? Syncytiotrophoblast means, so these are trophoblast cells which have penetrated into the endometrium, so there they lose their cell boundaries, which means accumulation of many number of the nuclei takes place. So that accumulation of many number of the nuclei, as you can see in this diagram, so many nuclei are being present. So this many nuclei condition, multinucleate condition without the cell boundaries, so that trophoblast is said to be syncytiotrophoblast. Syncytium, you remember, that is in case of the muscle, or in case of the phylum Ascil, means they have an extra layer that is called as a syncytium, which is a multinucleated condition. So similarly here also the trophoblast cells, so there the cellular boundaries are being removed and there is accumulation of more number of the nuclei. So that multinucleate condition which is being formed, so that is called as syncytiotrophoblast. And the cells which are being present, which have the cell boundaries, so those are said to be the cytotrophoblast. So in case of the invasion, the trophoblast divides and it gives rise to cytotrophoblast and syncytiotrophoblast. So this is the step that is called as invasion. And the last step, once after syncytio and cytotrophoblast are being formed, the last step is decidualization, which means changes in the endometrium. So before the decidualization, so what all the changes are occurring here, so that is what we call it as pre-decidualization. So that pre-decidualization now gets decidualization, means the changes in the endometrium starts occurring. So that is the last step. So what happens here is the syncytiotrophoblast which are present. So this syncytiotrophoblast starts further increasing in its size, and thereafter it comes in contact with that of the maternal blood vessels, by which whatever the nutrient is being present in that of the blood vessels, in the uterine arteries or in the maternal blood vessels, so that whatever nutrients are necessary for the growth and development, so that is being absorbed from these maternal or uterine arteries, and thereafter these cells again further starts proliferating. So that is first thing. Thereafter what happens is this syncytiotropoblast now starts forming many number of finger-like projections. So once the finger-like projections are being formed, now the cytotrophoblast cells which are present, so they start further covering to that of the syncytiotropoblast, and thereby forming very well of the finger-like projections, what we call them as villi. So these villi which are now formed, they are said to be the chronic villi. So this chronic villi are being seen in the uterine stroma, or you can call it as endometrial stroma. And thereafter this syncytiotropoblast comes in contact with that of many number of the uterine arteries to absorb the nourishment, and thereby a physical connection between the villi and the maternal blood vessels takes place, and that results in the formation of the placenta. So here this connection between the syncytiotropoblast with that of the maternal blood vessels, so that is the initial step in the formation of placenta. Okay, so that is what happens in case of decidualization. Further what happens, once after the villi are being formed, here inside that of the cytotrophoblast cells, the fetal embryonic artery starts developing. So this embryonic arteries now comes in contact with that of the maternal blood vessels. So when the connection takes place, okay, so that results in the formation of the placenta. And remember, the embryonic arteries and the maternal arteries, they are just placed side by side. They are not being directly in contact with each other. And thereafter, the exchange of the substances starts occurring between the embryonic arteries as well as the uterine arteries. So that happens during the decidualization. Now here, what actually happens is the blastocyst which is present. So this blastocyst now starts secreting the hormone called as human chorionic gonadotropin and insulin-like growth factor, where these two factors helps in, they stimulate the invasiveness of the blastocyst into the endometrium. Meanwhile, the HCG has three main functions here. First is the HCG acts as an immunosuppressive agent. First thing. Second thing is HCG notifies the mother to say that the mother has now, that female has now become pregnant. So that is second. And the third one is the HCG, okay, the human chorionic gonadotropin. It prevents menstruation or menstrual cycle and sustains or retains the corpus luteum, where the progesterone secretion continuously occurs from the ovary. So that is HCG. Now, once the embedding of the blastocyst occurs in the endometrium, further what happens is the mother's immune system now, okay, starts feeling that these particular cells are different from its own body. So there is a possibility that this blastocyst, where it contains that of the embryonic cells, okay, so that embryonic cells and maternal cells are totally different. So there is a possibility that the immune system of the mother may reject this blastocyst. So what this blastocyst will do is, this blastocyst will start secreting, okay, it starts secreting certain hormones, some immunosuppressive agents such as human chorionic gonadotropin. Thereafter is the prostaglandin, interleukins and interferons. So these are mainly four different types of the immunosuppressive agent will suppress the immune system of the mother and prevents rejection of this blastocyst which has been embedded into the endometrium. So this is all the process by which the blastocyst which is present, so that gets completely embedded into the endometrium. Okay, so that is the process of implantation which occurs during 7th day. And what are the stages? The stages involved in the implantation are zona hatching, that is removal or breakdown of the zona pellucida. Apposition, it is a loose contact between the blastocyst to the endometrium. Third one is adhesion, much more stronger invasion, much more stronger binding of the blastocyst to the endometrium, that is adhesion. Invasion is the entire blastocyst enters into the endometrium, thereby the trophoblast divides and forms a cyto and syncytio trophoblast. And last one is decidualization, where the changes in the endometrium takes place, and this changes favors the growth and development of the young one, that is at the blastocyst stage. So this is all about implantation. Thank you.